Parker Porter, number 41, ranked in the heavyweight division versus number 106, Alan Baudot. And AJ, man, I say it every time. If you think that, for either of these, this actually goes for both fighters. If you look at their physique and you judge them and you write them off and say, this is going to be whack, two big boys in the cage, whatever, you're going to be seriously mistaken, man. Because Parker Porter is absolutely no joke. The man's hand speed is impeccable. Power is ridiculous. Alan Baudot, kind of the same situation, though, man. It's been a little bit of a rough start to the career. But either way, my man, for his physique, he moves like a light heavyweight. He's slick, he's fast, and he got a little something in the tank, man. Both of these dudes got a very high significant strikes landed per 15 minutes. 8.48 for Parker Porter, 7.81 for Alan Baudot. However, AJ, I do think that one man is a little higher classed than the other. So let's talk about it, AJ. Who do you like in this fight off of the bat on paper? Like Parker Porter, clearly a favorite, but why do you like that if that is the case?
Yeah, I was leaning Parker Porter clearly the favorite on this one. He's just been doing it a little bit longer, at least a little bit more in the eyes of the media and in the eyes of the fandom going forward. He might be a smaller heavyweight, but this dude has some serious crack on his shots, man. Fast hands, long combos, very slick on the ground. He can get it done a multitude of ways. And I just think he has a little bit more in the gas tank, or a little bit more in the tool belt, than Alan Baudot. But Baudot is very one of those new breeds of fighters that we've been talking about on the come up. These fast, slick, can move around, moves like a middleweight, but hits like a heavyweight. That's Alan Baudot. But at the same point, Parker Porter is in that same category, man. He moves very fast. He might not have the fastest feet. Alan Baudot definitely has faster feet, faster foot movement. He can get out of the way a lot quicker. But they both have very fast hands, very fast power, or very strong power, I just lean a little bit more towards Parker Porter on this one, just because he has a little bit more of the experience, a little bit less of the jitters that he's going to be walking into. Because Alan Baudot came in and lost that fight against Rodrigo Nascimento, also lost that fight against Tom Aspinall. This dude's had a rough start to his UFC career. Maybe he can turn it around, but I'm thinking that's why they're leaning him as the underdog on this one. How you seen this one play out, Derek? Who's you taking or leaning towards?
Well, I like Parker Porter in this fight, man. If you watch the Tom Aspinall versus Alan Baudot fight, man, it was easy, man. You know what I mean? The hand speed was a little too much for Baudot. The power was a little bit too much for Baudot. And I think Parker Porter is one of those guys where he just showed it in his last fight against Chase Sherman, right? Where he just put it on him, man. I mean, the Vanilla Gorilla is no joke. Yeah, has he had a spotty record in the UFC? Yes, but as a litmus test, Chase Sherman is one of those dudes where if you can get past him, it's like that's very, very impressive. Now, I wanted to take a little bit of a deep dive really quickly into Parker Porter because when we look at his last two fights, Josh Parisian and Chase Sherman, both a decision win. So that's the beautiful thing about it is Parker can knock you out, but also he can go all the rounds with you. You know what I mean? That cardio is like well tested, well versed, and that's the big thing. We haven't necessarily seen that for Alan Baudot in the same way because last time that he went to a decision was let's see, has he ever? No, he's never gone to a decision. It's all been finishes, whether he wins or he loses. So he's got it in him. Like, he can get a finish. But Parker Porter, if he could stay away from the big bomb and he can go and, you know what I mean, do his thing, work his magic, I think that we're going to see good things from him. His last loss was against one of our boys, Chris Dawkins, right? Punches and knees, first round, my man. But that's neither here nor there because if you look at the grand scheme of things, he's 4-1 in his last 5, and that's really all you need to know. 2 finish wins, 2 decision wins, and 1 loss via, KO. So what are you going to say about that one, AJ? Let me ask you this really quickly because I don't want to write off Alan Baudot, but I do like Parker Porter in this fight. What is the career trajectory for Parker Porter? How high can he get in his career in the UFC?
Man, it's hard because I feel like he's in that weird spot of not big enough to handle, the Stipes, the Cyril Gans, the Derek Lewises, these big, powerful fighters, but he's also not small enough to drop down to the 205s, the light heavyweights. He might be in that area. He definitely has the height for a 205er, but he's just packs a little bit onto the weight, so it's hard. Do I see him fighting for a championship? Man, not anytime soon, unfortunately. But he is going to be one of those good fighters we've seen for a long time, kind of like the Sam Alveys, kind of like the Andrei Arlovskis, who's still around, still doing their thing. But do I see him fighting for a title? Maybe not, man. What do you think? Do you see him fighting for a title soon? or ever.
I mean, soon is, I don't know about soon, but I can see him being a top 10 fighter and being in that rank of like, you got to get past him if you want to fight for a title. Now, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to call him a gatekeeper off the bat because look at the success he's had. Like, name me 5, 10 fighters who can just beat Parker Porter right now, just like handily. And I couldn't name that for you. You know, I can name a few, obviously, the upper echelon in the heavyweight division. But once it starts getting down to it, the only thing that we need to really see from a Parker Porter is a little more of that grappling, right? Because he actually has a grappling edge against Baudot. 1.42 takedown averages per 15 minutes, 30% accuracy. When it comes to the takedown defense, I got nothing there for him. So I don't know if he has been taken down in his fight. I don't remember, off the bat. But if he can keep the fight standing, he's a dangerous man. I like Parker Porter by decision in this fight against Alan Baudot, but I would not be surprised to see him notch his first finish, to be honest with you. I just think Baudot, with a little more experience, he's going to be, I think we're going to take this one to a decision. Parker Porter's going to work him, stay at distance if he can. He's got a little bit of that reach advantage. He's a little shorter, so he's going to have to get in. But, Parker Porter's punches and bunches, baby. It's a beautiful thing to see. So I'm going Porter. I'm going by decision. And let's just check really quickly, AJ, what the over and under is. And it looks like the over and under is 1.5 rounds. So the odds makers think he's going to get it done early. What do you think?
I'm rocking with the odds makers on this one, Derek, and I'm also going Parker Porter, and I'm going KO round 2. I think he's going to get it done. I honestly believe that Alan Baudot is the more technical fighter, or at least the more technical in the hands. He's got very fast hands, nice combos, very slick. I'm leaning towards Parker Porter on this one. He's got the fast hands, big movement, big power. I'm going Parker with the KO round 2.
Okay, right on, brother, right on.